computer. Yes. Okay. Zoom record.
Okay. So we're recording. So thanks to everyone who's gotten on. If anyone hops on, welcome. We're going to start our quick training on three-way calls. We're going to do a quick mock three-way call so that some of you who are not as familiar with them as others can hear and see how they run and how great they are at getting to know your prospect and you know, really learning and giving them you know, a little bit more about our business and really piquing their interest, because that's the purpose. So Karen and Susie are going to help me lead the call. Some of you don't know. I think I might just introduce you girls and have you share just a quick thing real quick, because some people don't know who you are yet. And then we'll go into the training part. Is that cool?
Yeah.
Okay, Susie, go ahead and start, since we were kind of piggybacking off of you earlier.
All right. So I am Susie, and my name is Susie Rose on Facebook. That's what everyone knows me as, but it's Susie Serpina. I've been a first grade teacher for 12 years. I actually have, he's right like on the other side of his computer, so if I keep looking up, that's why. I have a little 5-year-old who will be 6 in September. I 2 years ago, with 3, I guess now, went through a pretty financially devastating divorce. Like, thought I was going to lose my house, thought I was going to have to move in with my mother, with my little guy. And I've always been a pretty independent person. So I said, oh, what do I do? As a teacher, it was go, you know, maybe tutor. That would take time away from my son. Go back to school, grad school. I already have my master's, but again, that would, you know, that's another cost, and it would take more time away from my son. Mm-hmm. And so my friend Kristen, who had been doing the business for a little bit, I'd seen her on Facebook. I literally had no idea what the heck she was talking about. I grew up with 4 brothers. I was a total tomboy, washed my face with maybe Dove bar of soap. She literally had been talking to me for 8 months, and I was like, I am going through hell right now. Go away. Don't bother me with your thing. I can't sell. I don't know anything about skincare, all of the above. And all of a sudden I saw on Facebook something that said, level 5. Kristen hit level 5. And I was like, oh, I don't know what that means, but it looks pretty cool. Like, a lot of people are commenting. Yeah. So I messaged her back. I'm like, listen, if I don't have to get on the phone with you, can we talk about this business? Because I hated talking on the phone. And she's like, absolutely. So we messaged back and forth on Messenger a little bit, and I took the leap. And you guys, I had like less than $200 in my bank account, and I was paycheck to paycheck. I was like monitoring when I was paying bills. I was like, well, I'll pay this bill late. I'll pay this one on time. And really all I wanted to do was get my son in a karate class. I just wanted to pay for a class. And I jumped in, and I had some great leadership, and I ran, and it's been 2 years now, 2 years as of April, and I just hit Premier level 5, and I'm making I'm making 3 times what my mortgage would be. So it's insane what this business does for you and what you can do for other people. And I have that financial freedom. No time freedom yet. Not at all. No time, but financial. So that's my story. And
awesome.
Yeah. Sorry, I went a little long-winded with that one.
That's okay. That's all right. Karen, you want to share your quick story?
Sure. I mean, my girls know it, but it's for everybody.
I want to hear it. I want to hear it.
Susie doesn't.
So I lived in San Diego for 15 years, and then I was a teacher for 9 of those years. And my husband worked a lot, and we wanted to move up here to be closer to family, and so I didn't have to work. I have 2 boys. Wyatt's 8, and Chase is going to be 6 on Saturday. Woo-hoo. And we're going to Bounce U. You guys know what Bounce U is?
Yeah, we've got.
Sounds like a bounce house place.
Sounds like airtastic.
And we actually are, sorry, I'm totally going off, but we are doing the lights, the lights turned off. We're going disco style. I'm pretty excited.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah, 6-year-old birthday party. Hey. Anyway, I decided after 4 years of staying at home with my kids that I needed something, and I decided to go back to work at my oldest son's school, and I was a reading intervention teacher. It was great, and then at the same time, my face was going totally wacky, and I was having hormonal issues, and so Natalie reached out to me, and actually the funny part is I was super skeptical at first, and I said no. The first time around, and then I was having all this breakouts, and I tried everything under the sun, dermatologists and all, and finally I called Natalie and I said, I want that unblemished, and I know I want the deepest discount, so sign me up for a consultant too. So I did that, and so I was working 2 jobs. I went from not working at all to working full-time, and I actually really love what I do, and I loved working with the kids. However, I realized that I missed my time. I missed my time with my own children. I wasn't able to volunteer in the class, and working an 8 to 3 job was just not what I wanted. I realized I didn't want a set schedule, so I wanted to be able to participate more in my kids' classrooms, volunteer in classrooms, go to the gym at 9, and also contribute financially. So basically, I just retired. Hell yes, last month. I'm not fully making my teaching salary yet, but I am on my way, and that's one reason why I actually, because I'm very close, and I just want to be able to give this my all, and I know that I already know that it's exactly what I need and what I want in life to make, help contribute financially and have all the things that I want to do with my kids. So I'm pretty stoked about that. And then I also get to help others do the same thing, build their business, have beautiful skin, feel confident. So kind of my little story.
That's awesome.
I love it. I love it.
In the top 5 sales in all of Team Up last month.
Shut up.
Yes.
Bam. Girl, that's a boss babe right there.
That's over 3,000 people.
I love it. Good job. Karen, I've heard amazing things.
But you know what's funny is at the beginning of the month, what did I tell you, Nat? I'm like, this month's going to suck.
Like, this month is terrible. It's so slow. I'm like, you say that every month, girl.
That's what I do too. And actually the 8th of the month is when I freak out. I go, oh my God. And then I end up at like 4,000 and you're at like what, like 5,000? I can't even.
5,600 this month, last month.
Wow. I love it.
Yeah.
She's awesome.
That's insane.
So it's crazy.
It's pretty awesome. She's great. So that's why I wanted her to be a part of this training call, because she knows she's ready to take that leap and be a leader and really help lead this our collective team. And her doing these trainings and, she's brought me so many 3-way calls. We joke, like we're a dynamic duo. She brings me calls, we close them, she enrolls, like we have a groove because we do it so much now. And so I want you guys to feel that, and because it's awesome. It's awesome. And the more you're going to feel it, and you'll just, sometimes I'm like pulling weeds and doing 3-way calls. Yeah. It's just great.
Well, so my team's growing too, and all their teams are starting to grow. So it's like the 3-way calls are very important.
Yeah. And I'm here to do them, and anybody on our team. Susie would do them. Susie and I are sideline partners. We don't make any money off of each other, but we work together. We've met at BizOps, in the local area, and we just kind of started to get to know each other, and we were like, oh, we connected. And so it's so important. I know you guys have I know you went to one, Sarah, but whenever they have them, just try to keep going and meet people, because it's so beneficial. So I'm going to give you guys my quick short story. You both heard it, but on a 3-way call, I go into it a little bit more detail because I really want them to resonate with every aspect of my story. But for now,
do you want to do this? Do you want to do this in the mock?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, for now, I'm just going to share with them my short story, and I'm going to put a template because this is something that you're going to share with people when you first get them on the phone. Because when you know, what are you doing? You have to share something with them, right? And you just share about yourself, and it's a quick template. It's really a couple questions. So, you know, I'd say, hey, Sarah, it's great. You know, I've started this business, and I really wanted to share a little bit about it with you. Thank you so much for chatting with me. You know, I'm a stay-at-home mom now, and I absolutely love it. I love being able to be there for my kids and, you know, be there for all the little moments, because, you know, years ago I was a teacher and I wasn't able to do that. So I really appreciate it now. But over the years, I felt being a stay-at-home mom, one of the things I didn't like was I was kind of feeling like I was losing a little bit of a sense of myself. And not only that, but our income was cut in half. And so the stress, financial stress on my husband's shoulders, I could feel was growing. And so our Rodan and Fields now is, you know, helping melt some of that stress off my husband's shoulders financially. It's giving me the confidence and the empowerment that I was looking for. And I get to bring all of that to my team and to everyone that I bring on to my business. And for me, that's the most beneficial part, is helping others, building my own confidence, which helps in all the relationships in my life. And so that's just kind of my short, quick story that I might share with someone, just to share a little bit, you know, especially if it's someone you haven't spoken to in a long time, you want to condense it and, you know, and then we'll go into a mock three-way call here in just a second, but I just wanted to, you know, kind of mention a couple points. You know, the purpose of the three-way call is not to be a car salesman and like get them or, you know, jam all this information down their throats. If that's not the case at all. When you're new, especially, and honestly, if you're newer, it should be easier to get people on a call. And the reason being is because you can be totally transparent and honest with them and just say, I'd love to share more with you about this business, but I'm really new. So I'm going to have my friend Natalie or my friend Karen. You're going to love her. She's going to help me talk about this business with you so that we can get you all the information you need, and answer any of your questions. And that's really, you know, kind of it.
And tonight, like I said, I just got up. I'm sorry. I always interrupt. I'm so bad at that.
I want this to be interactive.
When I was talking to, you know, someone I knew, someone I worked with, you know, she knew my story. She had a couple questions. I kind of went over those. And then I said, just very naturally, I'm like, you know what? Listen, my girlfriend, Kristen, who is blank, blah, blah. You know, I kind of gave her a little, like, one sentence background. Really, I was talking to her and telling her about your interest in it, and she wanted to hear, she kind of wanted to hear directly from you. Would you mind if I just popped her on real quick? And she can give you, like, the business perspective, the financial part. Like, find the piece that maybe you're not able to give. Like, I personally suck at, like, that financial part, like CRP and blah, blah, blah. So then find what your upline's strong in and say, she's going to fill in this blank. Right. So they feel like I'm not like, hi, this is Susie Sunshine. We're ready to sell you some Rodan and Fields. Right. You know, it's not like we're totally peer pressuring her. I'm just like, listen, I know you want to know more about the financial part. I want you to get on with her. She's been doing this for 3 years. Let's do this. Boom.
Right.
I like that. That's a good way to say it.
Yeah.
And you and the other thing you can even say too is like, I want you to get on the phone with someone who's had even more success than I have, so that you can see what this could do for you, or, you know, something like that even.
I like that.
But your idea, you know, the idea is not to get them, because it's not for everybody. And if it's not, you trust me, you don't want them. You know, I have dead legs. Susie has dead legs. Like, they're just legs that just don't do anything. And
Quadriplegic.
You can't do anything about it, but you know, it's better to find someone that's looking for you. So your purpose is to pique their interest. Remember that it's going to take 5 to 7 to even 10 or 12 touches before someone is going to make a decision to join you in business. Very rarely do people join you in business like on the first or second touch. And if they do, they probably end up returning their kit because they're like, well, this isn't what I expected. And it's like, well, no kidding, because we didn't get to share it all with you. And so let's see, and really the best way to learn how to do a three-way call is by doing them over and over and not, typing. It's fine to type some notes or things like that. But, if you're reading from a script the whole time like this, then people are going to be like, they're going to see right through it. And just keep it really interactive and fun, where it's like last night, Randy and I did a three-way call, and, it was very back and forth. The woman that we spoke to, she got to share about herself, and I did. And, it was conversational. It wasn't me just like jamming information down her throat.
That's what I always find. Like, I literally, the first thing I say to someone when I get on is, okay, so you probably have other things to do right now. What makes you want to get on the phone with me right now? And they're like, well, I don't know. I heard about this. I heard you could make some money. And then I'm like, awesome. So what, if you could make an extra blank amount a month, what would you make? $200, $300? Totally, we can do that for you. So how much would you be willing to work? What do? I just get to know them in a personal way. Then I share my story usually. Because if I jump on and just start talking about myself, I'm just a voice. They've never heard me.
Right.
Lots of questions.
So why don't we just model it? Karen, you can kind of go into a couple of the points that you wanted to reiterate too, and then we'll just model it. And Susie will be the prospect.
Do it.
Karen's going to be the consultant that's bringing the prospect onto the call, and then I'll do the three-way call. And I'll kind of go through it a little bit. And I can I have a kind of a template. It's not word for word, but it's a template of like, Karen knows like the 4 Ps. And I'm going to update it some so that it's got some of our new stats on it. And then at least you guys can see kind of how we intertwine our language and things like that based on the facts and, what we want to convey in the three-way call. And I'm going to post all that in the files on my page after.
Okay.
Okay, Karen, you want to go ahead?
Yeah. So just a couple things. For like newer people, because I know it can be really awkward sometimes. You're like, what do I say? What do I say? So when I was newer, this is what I used a lot, and it was so helpful. Like, because it takes the pressure off of you. I just said, I'm super excited you're interested in hearing more about the business. Because I'm newer to the company, still learning, because I think that they respect that. Say, I'd love for you to jump on a quick call with my business partner, Natalie, so she can give you the right information and answer any questions you have. And then I would just do a little bit. I say, she's been in the business for several years and has had great success. She's been an amazing mentor for me. And if this is the right fit for you, she will be working very closely with us, and I'd love for you to meet her. Like something simple like that. And most of the time they say, sure, that sounds great.
Yeah.
And then what you do from there is, how about Wednesday or Friday? Pick a day that works for you. And then pick a couple times, and then you reach back out to your upline, your director, whoever's doing the three-way call. And then say, hey, how about Thursday at 7 or Wednesday at 10? Right. And then that gives them a couple windows, and then you guys can commit and go back.
And then can I interject real quick, Karen? I like that you picked a day and a time and gave them a couple, because sometimes, and I did this a lot in the beginning, you say, okay, great, let me know when you're available. And then you're not done. And then it's crickets. They never get back to you. There's never a time they can, so if you just pick a few and you lead them to the call, they're going to fall into the call because they see that this is the process.
Totally. And then if I said, what works for you? And then it's like open, and she's like, well, Sunday, maybe, and then it's just back and forth. So if I say, hey, I'm free what about Wednesday or Friday? Do any of those days work for you? What time? So it kind of just narrows it down. It makes it easier to pick a date and a time, and boom.
Or you can say, what's better for you, mornings or afternoon? Or, you have to narrow it down. If you leave it open-ended, they're never going to come back.
Exactly.
And then that shows that you're leading them through the process rather than them leading you, which is not the way it should be. And I did that for a long time, and it took me a long time to realize, like, just be assertive and show them this is the process, and they'll go right to it. They really will.
Exactly. And then text the prospect the morning of to confirm, hey, just want to make sure that 7 p.m. still works for you. as another little touch, you know, hey, just to connect. They'll come back, yes, that works, or no, it doesn't, because we don't want to waste anybody's time, you know, especially getting another person on a call, and then we plan our life around these things, or ish. Okay, so then the call. So when you get on the call, we don't want to waste anyone's time. So when you're on the phone with what it is call the prospect, get the prospect on the line. And if it's 6:30, you call at 6:30, get the prospect on the line. It's a quick, hold on. I just say something like, hey, Susie, I have my business partner on the other line. I'm going to introduce you to her. And then I'm going to mute out so you two can chat. If too many, and I always just kind of say something like, if too many people are chatting, it gets a little crazy, right? Hold on the phone for a second. I'm going to call my business partner. Okay, no problem. And then just make it quick. Call your business partner, talk for 2 seconds, and then merge in. Don't let anyone stay on the line for too long.
And if you don't know how to merge 2 calls in, just ask and we'll show you. It's very easy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then
I didn't know either.
So when I merge in, and I have both on the line, I say, Susie, are you there?
Yeah. Hi.
Natalie?
Yep, I'm here.
Awesome. Natalie, I have Susie on the line, and she's interested in hearing more about RNF. Susie and I work together at the same school, and she's an awesome first-grade teacher. She's a single mom to an adorable little boy, and she's interested in making some extra money. I've talked to her a little bit about how this opportunity has been amazing for me and you, and I'd like to share more with her. Susie, as I mentioned earlier, Natalie is my business partner and a great friend. She's been a huge mentor for me and helped me get to where I am now. She's been with Rodan & Fields for over 3 years, and it's done amazing things for her and her family. You'll be working very closely with her, and she'd be helping with the training process. So, ladies, I'm going to mute out so you guys can chat, and Susie, we'll chat at the end, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
Hi, Susie. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Where are you located?
I live in the Aurora Naperville area. What about you?
Okay. I'm close by. I'm in the Chicago area as well, so that's great.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Okay, so basically, I just want to thank you really quick for getting on this call. We are really just working collaboratively to get you the information that you need in order to see if this might be a good fit for you. We are in no way, shape, or form going to try to convince you of anything. We just want to give you some information, so just kind of try to keep an open mind. If questions come up as, we share some information, go ahead and jot them down, and then we'll address them at the end if you have some.
Okay.
But, I want to tell you a little bit about myself and how I got into Rodan & Fields, because we all have different reasons why. But I want to hear about you first, because I want to get to know you a little bit and see, so we can connect and create a relationship.
Just like Karen said, I'm a teacher. I'm teaching first grade. I just went through a divorce, and, money's just tight, paycheck to paycheck. So I think, I've heard a lot of great things about Rodan & Fields. I obviously have a couple concerns. I'm worried about the startup costs right now for myself.
Okay.
And, I think my network's pretty good. I'm also maybe just a little worried, like everyone says, saturation, because I do know a bunch of people doing it. So really, those are really the only 2 things I really wanted to just really address with you, because, I talked to Karen. She did a great job explaining, but it's always nice to hear another voice, to be honest.
Okay, awesome. Well, I understand how you feel about the startup costs. We were on one income at the time, and so that was a concern of mine too. So I'll kind of give you some input on how, what my thinking was when I joined, and what I did to really see the big picture, and hopefully I can convey that message to you as well. And I think you'll learn along the way that, we're all here to support one another, and, the saturation piece, I think, will get addressed when I talk to you a little bit about, how we're postured for the future of Redan and Fields and where we're headed. So, without further ado, I'll just kind of tell you a little bit about myself. I'm actually a teacher by trade, and I've loved my job, but felt very overworked and underpaid. And my family was growing, and I really wanted to take a step back from teaching and become a stay-at-home mom. And in order to do that, my family had to relocate to Chicago from California. So that's what brought me out here. And, being a stay-at-home mom was a dream come true for me. I'd always wanted it ever since I had kids. But I quickly learned that I enjoy work, and I enjoy challenging myself, and I enjoy the paycheck. And I just enjoy the empowerment that it makes, it makes me feel good, and it makes me feel kind of important within our family. We went down from 2 incomes to 1. I think you can relate to that, obviously, going through your divorce. It's a big setback, and it's a new adjustment to life. And so I really wanted to help kind of my husband with the financial responsibilities, because it was becoming kind of stressful for him. And I could see that he was, really trying not to be stressed, but I could see that he was. And so, as Redan and Fields was introduced to me, I became very intrigued. Not initially. Initially, I was pretty skeptical, but I became intrigued because I started to do some research about the company, and I saw that it was the doctors who created Proactive, and I certainly knew that brand and how well and successful it was. And I was really interested in the idea that I didn't have to convince people that these doctors were credible, because they already had a reputation and built a great brand. And another, a couple other things that stood out were the working from home, because I had never done that as a teacher. As you know, you have to be there. If you have little things here and there that pop up, you have to take a whole day off, and that's stressful. And on top of that, the other piece that was really interesting to me was that the sky was the limit with the amount of money that you could make. And with teaching, I was pretty much maxed out at 9 years and wasn't going to see much of a pay increase until I reached about 20. And so that was intriguing to me. So I jumped in, and I became, pretty excited about it. And then I had a setback in my life, being diagnosed with breast cancer. But I really, over a couple of days, used it to catapult my business and drive my business. And it ensured me and gave me some peace of mind that I was going to have something to build on my own. And I can actually will my business to my kids if something happens to my husband or myself, and they're going to be set up and successful. And so today, I've earned an all expenses paid trip, and in that, those things are really great. I have, getting closer to running for a new car and things like that. But to me, the most important part is seeing that I can contribute financially to my family with a significant income to help my husband. So we can travel and go see my parents that live far away, and we can create memories with our kids. And I get to bring people like Karen on these, trips with me she's, one of my best friends in the world, and she's joined me in business. And it's super fun to work with your friends. So after sharing a little bit about myself, I'm going to go ahead and go into a little bit about the company. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail, but I'm going to give you kind of the bare bones. So partnering with the doctors is actually an honor. They are Stanford trained doctors and very respected within the industry. They have created, just a huge, they own the acne market, and now are starting to own the anti-aging market as well, because we've become the #1 skincare brand in the country. We're a prestige skincare line. We are, over the 3.5 years that I've been in business with Redan and Fields, we have grown exponentially, just ridiculous amounts year over year. And I'll be honest, I'm not a big numbers person. So if we want to talk exact statistics and things like that, then I have a friend that we can, bring on, but that's not my forte, and I'm not going to share that today. But I'll talk a little bit about the products. I'm not sure if you're familiar with them, but we have 4 core regimens that we distribute, based on the 4 things that the doctors saw were issues that people were coming into their practice that they own today, as a matter of fact. A regimen for anti-aging, obviously, which is the biggest one. A reverse regimen for skin damage, sun damage, and brown spots. Acne, mostly adult acne, and sensitive skin. So those are our 4 core regimens. We have other, awesome products as well. We've just launched a couple of huge products that are just fly off the shelves, but we're virtual. So flying off our websites, I guess. I don't know. So it's pretty awesome. I think one of the biggest questions that people ask when they go into these calls is, okay, great. How do you make money? Right? That's, at the end of the day, most people want to know how do you make money? Well, we make money by obviously distributing the products, opening new stores, which is building a team. And we're basically opening a new store or a website in order to get, products moving through all of these different websites. I like to explain it as almost like opening a Starbucks. You own a Starbucks on the corner, you train your baristas, you train your manager, you train your cashiers, you train everybody to do their jobs, and you have great success. And then you decide, you know what, I'm going to open a store on the other side of town because I'm having great success here, and why make money in one location when I can make money in 2 locations? And so then you open up one down there, and, so on and so forth. But the difference between us and that is that we don't physically have to be there to train our team. We get to do it all virtually, such as, a Zoom call or on the phone or, webinars and things like that. And then I'm finally, I'm going to go into, so that's how you make money building a team. You're opening new stores and you're training them, and then you're compensated for training the new people that you bring on and helping them reach success and helping them get the products on people's skin and all of that. And that's really, the gist of how you make money. And then finally, we're positioned with this company for an astronomically large amount of growth. We are only in North America and Canada right now, and we are headed to Australia, followed by, I believe, Asia, later in the couple years. But you guys, we are at, our skincare market is projected to be 128 billion in the next year. We just reached our $1 billion company. We're only 8 to 10% of the global market. That's how unsaturated we are. We're in 8 to 10% of the entire global market. So we're not, saturated whatsoever. In fact, I think I saw a visual where someone said we are what state was it, Susie? Someone posted a visual of all the consultants.
It looks like Colorado, but it might be the one next to it. Utah?
New Mexico. I don't know. Anyway, it's one state in all of the United States. So I'm a visual person, so that kind of resonated with me. And so, we're in a position to be huge. We're already number 1 in North America, and we're going to, continue to grow over the course of the next couple of years. So it's an exciting time to explore the company and see what it can do for you. So I just wanted to kind of send it back over to you, Susie, and see, if what resonated with you, what you liked, what was interesting, and maybe address any questions you have.
Well, it does sound like the company's moving forward, obviously, and I've heard about the company and everything. I guess, again, it comes back to me investing in, I know there's 4 different options for the kits. Karen sent those to me already. I don't know. I'm just why wouldn't I do the $45 kit? That makes sense.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
That's a good question. So here's the the deal on the kits. The $45 kit, to me, it's really not a kit. Really what it is a membership to get a wholesale pricing. Think of your Costco membership. You pay a fee every year so that you can go to Costco and get this deep discount on, bulk food.
Nat.
Yeah.
My girl's calling me. I knew this would happen. I'm so sorry.
It's
Karen
okay.
is now your prospect.
Yeah, there you go.
This is real life, girls. I'm signing someone up right now.
She's enrolling someone right now. Yeah.
Because of the three-way we had today. Okay.
That's right.
Sorry,
Okay,
you guys. I'm sorry. Be rude. Bye.
So we're really just kind of talking about the objection with kits, obviously, because that's one of the biggest ones. So for me, that's how I explain the $45 kit. It's really a membership to get the deepest discount. You can come in on the $45 kit and have success, but you have to have grit. You have to be you have to be ready to set some goals, and you really have to be have a really big reason why. Like there's a no nonsense reason why for you to be joining, doing this business. The other three options are great options, but I'll be honest, the $695 and the $995 are the options that are that bring the most success to consultants. Not because you're investing the most money, but because you get the deepest discount on the products. So for $695, you're going to get about $1,300, a little over $1,300 in product, so almost 50%. And then the $995, truly, if $300, like if you're putting something on a credit card and $300 is not going to break that or have a really detrimental impact on your finances, then it's a no-brainer to go with the $995. And the reason being is that you do get additional products, but you basically get everything you need from almost everything that we carry, but you get samples. And samples to me are what set people up for success. One of the things that I find to be the most rewarding and impactful thing about running my business is giving people great customer service and allowing my true personality to shine in when I'm either selling product or when I'm, talking to a prospect about joining me in business. And so those samples that you get, you can purchase, but they come with your kit already, and you don't have to piece them together, and they're very professionally done and branded. And I think the samples really just set the other kit apart from really, from joining which one or the other. Now, that being said, we are not here to convince you to do anything. We are not here to convince you to join on one kit or the other. You really have to think and figure out what's the best fit for you and your family. But I will say that most people that join on the $45, $395, or even the $695 have regrets that they did not go for the $995. Simply because of the amount of product that you get at such a deep discount. You're getting about $2,000 a product for $995. And knowing that there's a 60-day money-back guarantee on the products and the business, it's kind of a, if you're looking to run a business, then I think it's the best way to set yourself up for success.
Great.
That's kind of how I.
Right. Okay. So can you explain just a little bit to me about Karen had mentioned the website for $24.95 and then the products that I have to purchase? Can you explain that to me?
Sure. So each consultant is given two websites. One that's geared more towards business interest. It's got some videos and information about, business kits and things like that. Karen may have sent you some of that information. And our other one, I like to call our storefront. It's our .com website. In my opinion, any business owner that doesn't have a website is not running a business. That's my personal opinion. Anything that I do nowadays, if I'm interested in, I don't know, last night my son wants to play tennis, so I looked up some tennis places. If they don't have a legit website, I'm like, that's kind of shady. Like what, they might not be that successful.
Right. Okay.
So I do find the website to be, extremely valuable from that perspective. But one of the other things that's really that I love about having my own website is that I can send someone my solution tool, and it links right to my website. So if they get the solution tool, which is a quick questionnaire that I always send them, even if I think I know what product line that they're going to order, I always send that because I am not a dermatologist. Rodan and Fields is. I always send them the solution tool, and then they take it and they get the results. And then if they want to fish around after that, there are some links in there where they can go to my website and look up the products that they're interested in if they want. And it goes directly to my website. If I don't have my website, they can't go and fish around and all of that. So I think it really personalizes the shopping experience as well. And your first month is free. And then it rolls into the $24.95.
Okay.
But one of the things that I love about our company is nothing is set in stone. If you have some financial hardships or some sort of, event that happens in your life where you feel like you have to shut down your, any extra expenses that you have, then you certainly can shut it off.
Okay.
But if you're looking to be successful right out of the gate and run with this business, then I assure you that you won't regret having it on.
Okay. Awesome. All right. And then, is there any other like monthly obligations or?
Oh, I forgot to go into CRP. So CRP is our consultant replenishment program. It is a program designed to get consultants the products at the wholesale price, because being a consultant, that's kind of your kickback. Obviously, you earn commissions and things like that, but you also get to purchase your own personal products or incentives or team, whatever you need at the deep discount as well. You get a flat rate shipping that, regardless of what you order, is going to be the same. And it's an opportunity for you to be a product of the product. And we want people to use the products because we're representing our brand.
Did you bring?
I'll be done in just 5 minutes, okay? I'll be done in 5 minutes, okay? So that's our consultant replenishment program. That's the purpose of it. It is a tax write-off because you're running a business, and you have your website for $24.95, and then you order $80 of product each. Are you okay? My son just fell off the bed. You order each month you order $80 in product. And the benefit of this is obviously, like I said, being a product of the product, but it also helps you to earn your commissions if you're making sales that month. So if you're someone who's, really running, you're making a bunch of sales, you got new preferred customers, and we're really, showing you the ropes, and, you have an event and things like that, then you'll have your CRP, you'll turn that on, you'll have it on already, you'll just we'll walk you through how to order what you want. It does not have to be the same every month. You get to personalize whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
And then, that'll help you earn your commissions for the month, which is an increase on whether you, have it on or not.
Okay. Great.
If you're not doing anything and you're not selling anything, then obviously you don't care if you're earning commissions. But if you're, making sales and you're wanting to earn your commission on top of, other sales that you have, like retail sales, we don't have to go into that right now. We can talk about that, but that would be your monthly cost. It would be about about $100 per month to run your business.
Okay.
But if you're running your business, you're going to make much more than 100 anyway. So it's going to be a pretty easy kickback where you can, take that out of whatever you're earning. So for example, my CRP never even comes out of my debit account because I have my RNF account, and it just comes right out of my earnings. So I really don't see the expense out of my family's, budget.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right.
Well, awesome.
Cool.
Well, thank you. I appreciate all the information.
Yeah. So Susie's gonna, or Karen, who I forget.
I'm Susie.
You're Susie. So Karen's gonna send you, Susie, a couple more links
Okay.
to, just she'll send you a video on the products and how our multi-med therapy products really set us apart from some of the other products that are out there, and why we believe so, wholeheartedly in them. And then, if you have, when I get off the phone, I know sometimes you like to talk on a personal level with her, and that's fine. But, I'm certainly here to get back on the phone with you if you need anything. And, I hope we can work together.
Awesome.
That's it.
Thank you.
Okay. So that's our little mock. Hi, Erin.
Hi guys, sorry to come in so late.
It's okay. I recorded it.
Oh, perfect. Thanks, Nat.
And this is an opportunity where I usually get Natalie off, and then I talk to my prospect for a few minutes, and I don't overtalk it because she just heard a lot of information, and I just want my prospect to be able to really take in all the information and make a decision based on like what they want to do for their family. I feel like we've already given them a lot of information,
And one of the things that I actually just learned, and I learn new stuff all the time because I was kind of fishing around on the daily experience page and some of the other like past trainings that I've seen on three-way calls. And I actually haven't done this, and I need to start. I'm going to start doing it. But it's some people truly, like when you get people off the phone, like Karen, when you say, hang on, Susie, and let's chat. Bye, Nat, whatever. And I get off the phone. And one of the things that is helpful is so that you understand where people are in the process is just being honest and saying, thanks so much for getting on this call. What did you hear? What did you hear on this call that you liked? So then that gets them just, they don't have to like vomit any facts or anything. But there's got to be something that they liked. It could be, some like funny person. It could be anything. And then some people close the call with on a scale of 0 to 10, 0 being, I can't wait to get off this call and never talk to you again. And 10 being, I want to sign up right now. Where are you? And I've never done that, but I was just kind of learning, doing some research. And I think I was asking Rose about it, and she said that a lot of people do it, and it just gives them a feel for, if someone's a 2, then it means they need a lot more information and probably like 5 or 6 more touches. And, but if someone's an 8, then they're ready. They just have a couple, like probably personal reservations. Am I going to be successful? Should I spend the money? I got to talk to my husband, or, things like that. So, and that is one of my weaknesses, is being assertive like that. So I'm really going to push myself on my three-way calls when I get off with Rose, or even maybe if you guys bring me one, I'm happy to do that. If you want me to kind of lead that, it's fine. But it's something that I learned today when I was doing some research on three-way calls and stuff. And I thought it was kind of interesting because it gives you a picture. And if someone's a 2, then that's good for you to know, because then that means that you're not going to be waiting by the phone for them to call you back tomorrow to join, because you know that they need more information.
And one last thing. So when I have Natalie on a three-way call, I am taking notes. I'm not only listening to Natalie and taking notes with Natalie, but I'm listening to my prospect. What are her objections? Because at the end, then Natalie and I can talk like, hey, okay, she's obviously concerned about the kits being too expensive. Maybe we send her more information about that. Or like, let's, we kind of strategize, like, what can we do to give her more information? And also I take notes. I never interrupt Natalie ever. I never jump on. And it was the hardest thing for me ever at the beginning, because I feel like I want to like protect my prospect.
Yeah.
And I just learned, I don't know, I just felt that way. I feel like I always just want to protect my prospect, but I just mute out. And I'll take notes or little bullets about something that I might want to add on to or share about my story or anything like that. And I just take notes on paper. And at the end or another time that we connect, I'll talk about those things with my prospect. Hey, when Natalie said X, Y, and Z, this is what it did for me, or this is my story about it. So it kind of, and I never just do it while she's on the phone, just because it's like, get her on, get her off, and then we can continue talking.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And that's, I don't know. I just feel like it because sometimes when people interrupt, and I mean, I've done this too. I kind of had to learn the hard way too. But I feel like we lose our train of thought. Then we're kind of like, where we go? It becomes too much.
Yeah.
You're like
Thoughts on that?
bombarding the person.
Huh?
Right.
You're bombarding the person with like, like this and that and jumping in and stuff. And
I know.
Yeah.
I just
And
always
you
feel
just
like
don't
I'm
want to
trying
seem
to
like you're
protect.
trying to convince them of anything.
Right.
You really just want it to be,
Listen to the information, and then we'll chat after.
And you can always, and I always assure them, like, I'll still be on the line and I'll still be listening. And I kind of put it on me, like, I'm just going to mute myself so you don't hear like the background noise from my end. And so it's not confusing for you. I like, like you're really trying to make it most beneficial for them. So rather than hearing the chaos in my background and another area, you're just able to listen to my business partner, and friend. So it's less conflicting and confusing, but assure them, obviously you're still there and you're listening. But just you're not going to be jumping.
Yeah, we said that at the beginning, like we mute out. I'm going to catch up with you at the end.
And if someone says they're a 2, I mean, you can be honest and be like, okay, no problem. It sounds to me like you need some more information. Like, is there something specific that you're lacking that I can send you? If not, I will see, and then you just keep touching them and keeping them warm and giving them some, like Randy, this woman that I spoke with yesterday with Randy, she was an older woman. And I was like, send, what's wrong?
Oh, there you are.
There you are. You
Go ahead.
Oh, I just said send, send her Rose's blog post on that Redefine Your Future blog. And so she's, I kind of sent her some information to send. But to kind of wrap up, and we can do a Q&A after, that's fine. But just so you guys know, I'm going to, on my team page, I'm going to post the 4 Ps, which are basically, it's let me see what they all stand for. I forget. Partnering with the doctors, the products, the profit potential, and the positioning of the company. So really, you just want to say like 2 or 3 bullets from each thing. And, you guys being newer, Sarah and Randy, you don't have to even worry about that because you can just really put that on your upline. Because when you're newer, you give us all the work because that's what we're here to do is train you and show you how to talk about it. But, when you've been in the business a little bit longer, you can do these 4 Ps real quick. And then you bring them to a 3-way call. And then by the time they get to the 3-way call, that they're still pretty interested.
Yeah.
And then it becomes a little bit of a closing call where it's like, okay, let's figure out where you lie in the kits. Let's figure out what, and then one of the reasons why I always ask about them is because then it gets into their why. What do they want this to do for them? And it's got to be more than just, I know people want to make money, but it has to be bigger than that because if it's just about money, then people are going to quit. It has to be like, you really have to try to keep working on that. And that's something you do over time, but, it helps you, the 3-way call kind of starts peeling back the onion a little bit and in figuring that out.
Yeah.
I think that's about it.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah. So this is what I would love.
Randy?
I would love for you guys to set a goal for yourself to have a certain amount of 3-way calls this month. So that, honestly, when you get to 10 3-way calls, your business is like going to explode. If you can get, I know that seems like a lot, but you can, that's really reaching out, getting them on a call, reaching out, getting them on a call. Like if you were to do 10 3-way calls in a month, you'd probably get 2 people to join you. And a lot of PCs because some people, it's not for them. They don't have the money, but they can, get the products. Or the timing isn't right and they come back another time.
I do have a favor on that, Karen. I know you're busy, but I loved your wording, and I know you've said this to me a million times, and I try to jot down little bits, but if you could type up I guess I can go back and watch it on here. I love your little blurb.
I'll type it up and I'll post it on our page.
My
That would be
blurb, what
awesome.
blurb?
Her little blurb of exactly how she talked about how she would get you on the phone. For some reason, she has it like, she says it the same time, or the same way every single time, because I've heard her say it, and I'm always like, oh my God, I can't possibly like write all this down. It's perfect. And it's sendable through text.
I have it right here. I'll post it.
Perfect. Thank
And
you.
I literally say the same thing. I say it over and over.
I know you do, because I've heard it and I like want it. Like that's my favorite thing that I would even send through like Messenger and stuff. And I'd like practice saying
maybe, Karen, what I'll do, I'll put the 4 P's up, and then I'm also going to send you guys the quick template, or I'll put it on my page, of your short story. And it's just those 4 questions. And I know it seems super basic, and a lot of us are long-winded and we want to really talk about ourselves. And, you know, like my short story says nothing about me being a teacher, because that's not what I'm doing right now. And the whole point of your short story is to just give them like a screenshot of where you are right now, basically.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Well, and what's crazy,
what you're doing, what you like about it, what you don't like about it, and what you hope RNF will do for you, or what it's doing now. I mean, and that's going to change and evolve, like probably month over month over month even.
Well, that's what I was just about ready to say, is like, I'm totally in between now. My short story, I'm like, wait, whoa, I'm used to saying I'm a teacher and this is what I do. And now that I'm not doing that anymore, like I have to kind of go back and figure out another short story. And I mean, it's evolving.
It'll change all the time.
It is. And so I have to go craft that. And I really need to think about it and craft it, because I'm going to be saying that over and over and over and over and over to people. And I want to make sure that I have it dialed in, you know?
Yeah. And then finally, your story, as you get better at 3-way calls too, you guys, you're going to be able to tweak it with every 3-way call that you do. Like I know with Karen, she's heard me say my story probably 12, 15 different times, because I always ask the prospect about themselves first, so that I can kind of tweak my story to really resonate with them. If I know that they're already a stay-at-home mom, then I don't even really go much into my background about being a teacher, because they don't, I just kind of skip over that. But if I know they're working full time, they're on that hamster wheel, they want to get off, then I really, I tweak my story so that I can, be empathetic, and they can relate to me and know that, like, oh, I was there, and that this is why I'm not anymore.
Right.
And as you do the 3-way calls, you'll just get better and better and better at doing that. And that's why it's just listening and listening and listening.
Mm-hmm.
And they're easy, but they're not easy. They can get a little uncomfortable. I mean, even doing them a lot, it's still uncomfortable. So it's normal.
But it gets better. You guys, I used to sit at my computer and just like be breathing hard, or, like I would close, like I wouldn't even let my husband hear me talk about any of my business, because I was so self-conscious about it. And now it's like I have kids running in, I'm like, pulling weeds, and like I just put my headset on, and, you just get better at it. Hi, buddy.
You do. And I totally see that progression happening with like me personally. I mean, I still am like type things up, and I'm like, okay, I had Rose on a call the other day, and I'm like, ooh, I got to type up what I'm going to say about Rose, because, or like write it out, because I want to make sure that I said, the right thing.
But she got to hear, I brought Rose on because she wanted her to hear some of her skincare stuff. Hello. And so the 3 of us were on, and then Karen got off. She's like, oh my gosh, that was so awesome to hear someone else lead a 3-way call, because she does it a little differently than me. And so as you guys get better at bringing them, we're all going to get better at doing them, and we're all going to be like Susie's team. Like they all just like do them for each other. Like Susie will do them for her sideline partner and someone else, and they just kind of all start doing that, and that's how we'll end up, doing like that too. Yeah.
Different stories resonate with different
people. It's easier
to
get people on a call when you have 5 people to reach out to versus 1 or 2,
Yeah.
So, all right, cool. Well, thanks for getting on, you guys. I hope it was valuable. I'm going to try to keep, unless this day and time is really bad for people, I'm going to continue to find topics that people need, want some training in, and try to lead these calls every week on Thursdays around this time. Obviously we can't get everybody to jive or whatever, but we'll certainly record them and I'll kind of do a little bit of, searching around. And if there's something that you feel like you guys need, just shoot me a message and we can incorporate it into it.
Well, and that's why we're here, because a lot of the girls, we were all just talking, like Carrie and Jess aren't on the call, and Sarah and Randy, that's what we did. They were like, well, I want to get, start adding business partners. So that's why we're doing this call, So continue to reach out and share, like Natalie said.
If it's a product one, where you guys, sometimes Sarah or even Aaron, Randy, you guys have all done it. Like, this makes me uncomfortable. She has this issue. Can you just hop on the phone and help? Like, you just need validation that like we're recommending something good, or, kind of someone to have your back. And that's fine too, because sometimes people see that and they're like, oh, that's pretty cool. She can just hop on and help her. And over
Randy
time,
and I just had one the other day. Right,
yeah,
Randy?
over time, though.
I'm like driving in the car and my whole family's in there. And that's the first time I've ever done it,
And
And
that's,
I'm like,
but
okay,
they
bear with
see
me.
that. And a lot of businesses don't run like that anymore. Everybody's just like clawing and, fending for themselves. So just, if you need help, just reach out because they work for both.
I see you.
Can you tell who wants attention?
Cool. That's little Cooper.
Awesome, guys. Well, thank you for getting on. I appreciate you being on live.
Thanks,
For those of you that weren't, I will set up a Zoom for next week, and we'll kind of go through some others. All right? And I didn't get to the incentives, but I'll do it tonight or tomorrow morning, actually. My morning.
And how about we post a little bit of language, too, about getting someone on a 3-way, just like to share with a prospect, how somebody that may be interested or may not be interested. We'll post a little bit of that, too, again.
Okay. Yeah.
That way we can send it out and get some calls.
We'll put it all in the files on our, do you guys know how to go into files? Let me see if I can share my screen with you real quick. That's okay. Hang on. Let me see. Hopefully I don't have any like weird things up on my, I don't know. I have children. You never know. It's probably Dude Perfect. Yeah. To be honest, if you guys have boys, you know who that is. Can you guys see my screen? No?
It looks like it's flipping. There you go.
Is that my notes?
Yeah.
Yes.
Why is it not? Oh, got it. Okay, so if we go into... Okay, stop talking. If you're going to be here, you got to be quiet. Okay, can you guys see the team page?
We can see I can see a section, like a small section of the screen.
No, you have to refresh or something.
Okay, hang on.
The whole thing.
So just make it bigger, maybe?
Well, it's your notes. It's not Facebook.
Oh.
Yeah.
Good.
You have to,
Okay. I can see Facebook, but I guess you can't.
you have to like share the screen again. It's so weird.
Oh, again? Okay.
Yeah, like share it again because it's stuck on your notes. So you have to share the Facebook screen again.
It says stop share. Okay. All right.
Yeah, we can see your cursor moving.
Notes or
Oh,
notes?
your screen sharing is being paused. Okay. New share? Okay.
Try that.
Can you see my screen now?
Your note.
Your notes.
Still?
Yeah, now it's you.
Oh.
Anyways, it's on the file, like right underneath of
I don't know how to.
The group
On our
page.
page. So it's not, I know where the pinned things are now. I made it that far.
Yeah.
Is it that or over to the left? Over to the right?
Okay, so
Oh, that's better. There, now try.
Now try
what can you see?
we see
Your
the
home.
Your home page.
Oh, okay.
Maybe it'll, oh, there.
now
Okay.
it's second grade.
Yeah.
Flow.
That's me showing off that my kids are doing
I know,
extracurricular educational websites. Just kidding. I don't know. My computer's being super slow, guys. I'm sorry.
Okay, we can see Facebook though.
Oops.
Now we see our password. We're gonna log in and hack you on Facebook.
That's why I never log out of mine ever.
I don't even know why I don't really either.
Randy, did we lose Randy? We lost Randy.
She's
No, I'm
probably
here.
like, I'm
Oh, there
done,
you
guys.
are.
I'm
Wow, that was weird. I just missed you for a minute.
Uh-oh.
Incorrect.
I'm flossing.
Okay. Oh, you're flossing. Oh. Oh, buddy. Okay, go that way. He's like spinning on me. Okay,
Oh.
can you see now?
Yep, Nikki.
Okay. Okay, so here's our page. So the files are just over here on the left.
Oh, okay.
They
Okay.
used to be up here, but
Oh,
they're not anymore. But if you do like, for example, if I did, like I'll probably add, I could do both. The 4 Ps, I could add it through here where it says add file.
Yeah, and then you could drag it, get it from your desktop.
Right. But you can do it here too in the files.
Oh, look at that.
So I have stuff in here. So I have
That welcome checklist updated or no?
I'll have to go through and check. It's like a year old. But here's some reach out language. There's a recruiting training with tons of language in there. You know, just a couple things.
Okay.
I haven't put new things in here in a while. But here's like my calendar link. If you wanted to go on my calendar and just book something, you could do that. Here's inviting language from one of the training calls. So I'll upload it and just call it like 4 Ps or whatever. I thought they were in here, but I guess not.
I'm going to use my mouthwash.
Okay. So that's how you get to it.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. And then, you know, I don't know if you know this, Sarah, but you can always go to our group and like if you know that Erin posted something and you really wanted it or whatever, you could type her name in or keyword or something.
Got it. Okay. Perfect.
Okay, sweet. All right, girls.
Thank
you.
Thanks,
I
Matt.
gotta get
You
these
guys are
children again.
awesome.
Yeah, thanks. Okay, bye guys. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye, ladies.
Bye, girls.
Yeah.
Bye.
So